Yes, guys, it's your boy Street Boy. Welcome back to another stream. Obviously, done a stream previously, and I thought I'd come back and give it another one. So let's have a little intro with some classic Formula One music by Fleetwood Mac, The Chain. So obviously we're in qualifying right now, where the lads are gonna get their fastest laps underway, see how they go, see how they fare, see if they can test their nerve. Sorry if that's a little bit loud, but I'll turn it down a little bit. Reminder, guys, I don't do commentary on a regular basis. I'm back by popular demand. Some of the lads in the server, they've asked me to come back and do a little bit of commentary since I haven't been racing. So I will be a little bit rusty. There will be some awkward pauses, and there probably will be some abuse directed my way back in the Discord server after the race. But I hope everyone enjoys this. I'm going to enjoy it. It's something a little bit different for me. So let's sit back and see what's happening. So at the minute, top of the pops, we've got T-Dog up there. He seems to be leading the way, around about 3/10 clear roughly. But it is early doors. You know, the qualifying only started around about 4 or 5 minutes ago, so still a lot of time for people to make improvements and to potentially overtake him there. We've got some new guys on the grid this time around that I've not seen before. So this gentleman here, Lewis, I don't know much about him at all. He's a new driver to the league, and so is his teammate, Drift King. So we'll see how both of those two fare. But everybody else, they're old and gold. Everyone knows them. Mention T. We've got Drauga in the pits. Mr. Clan, Rexy, he's out in the Ferrari red. Absolutely loves it. John racing for Audi. Again, he's in the pits. Matty Pitt, he's not in the pits. See how he gets on. He's not having the best season so far. But his heart's not in it. And I don't think his head is either. And then we've got Mr. Mango, Rexy Boy's teammate. They might be bumming each other because they're both in the pits. And then Mr. White Shadow. So 11 drivers on track that are turning up on a pretty regular basis. We have had low numbers in the most recent times. I don't know why, to be honest with you. I would imagine that the summer break had a lot to do with it. So we always break off in the summer in this league. Obviously, if you're watching this, you don't know the league, that's how we tend to do things. Well, we'll have the season, and then in summer, everyone goes on holiday. They're out in the beer gardens, they're out enjoying themselves. We think that this game's more of a game for the dark nights in the winter. Technically, yes, it is still the end of the summer now, but we couldn't keep the break going on forever. So we've got these 11 gents that are turning up on a pretty regular basis. They're the ones that are making up the pack. But if you're watching this and you do feel like joining the league, drop a little message in the comments and I'll get back to you and we'll see if we can get you involved. So let's see what's going on now. We're further up the pack. We've still got T up there. Yeah, he's pits. Let's have a little look on Drift King, see how he gets on. Obviously, this is the Jeddah street circuit based in Saudi Arabia. Pretty new track to Formula One, to be honest. I think it was first introduced around about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 2020, 2021, that season. Can't remember exactly, but it will be around about that sort of time. Obviously, it's a street circuit, nighttime race. You just couldn't be racing through the desert during the day. The temperatures are through the roof. But this is one of the fastest circuits that there are on the entire calendar. Obviously a lot of sweeping corners, and I think there might actually be like 25, 26, 27 corners, something like that. There's quite a lot. I know that this particular track has got the most corners of any F1 track that's on the current race calendar. And it tests your nerve as well, because you can't just be slinging these cars into the corners with no faith. I mean, look, we've got 207, 208 miles per hour there from Drauga. That's got to be somewhere in the region of about 300 plus kilometers per hour. I'm not very good at those conversions, to be honest with you, but it's got to be there or thereabouts. See how the turns just sweep from left to right, and it's a marvelous track to look at because it's so flowing, but to drive around this track is so difficult, and it really does test your nerve, really test your ability to stay locked in for the full duration of the race. I think it's about 27 laps or something around here, 25 laps for a 50% race. But I think that's what it is. I'm so out of practice, to be honest with you. I've not raced around here for a while, so I'm not entirely sure, but we'll find out in about 6 minutes' time when the race starts. It seems like Drauga might be struggling a bit there. It didn't seem to flow through there as nicely as he might have wanted to. See what happens when he gets over this start-finish line. He's hit the curb there and caught the wall. Bottled it. He knows that it's no good, so he's getting himself into the pit, getting himself prepared. It's a smart thing to do, to be honest. He knows that he's got a little bit more pace in that car, and if he hits a perfect lap, he's going to do a lot better. So we've got T on an out lap here, so he's obviously Drauga's teammate there at McLaren. So we'll have a little look at him, see how he gets on with this out lap, and then see how he gets on into the flying lap, into the hot lap. Yeah, so I've just had a quick look there actually. So what I was saying was pretty accurate. It says here that Jeddah is one of the fastest and most unforgiving circuits on the calendar. 27 corners over 6 kilometres and very little room for error, which is such a true definition. So I said somewhere between 25 to 27 corners, so I wasn't too far off. But let's see how T takes his first corner. It's not as smooth as he would have liked there, to be honest. But he's back on the gas now, heading up to turn 4. And he's caught the wall there. He's absolutely knacked himself. That's it. He's going to have to pull out of this because he's just going to be wasting his time now. Teammate, that's not what we was looking to see, fella. Obviously you're up in P1 there. We want to see you continue that, mate. Well-respected driver in the league. Been around for a very long time. Everybody loves to see T do well. When he first joined the league, he was by nowhere near one of the fastest drivers. You would never expect to see him on pole at any of the circuits, but he's kept his head down, practiced, and he's really, really performing well nowadays. We've got a few more lads on out laps here. What's Mango up to? It looks like he's away. Lovely Mango, that was good. That was better than what we saw, better than when we saw Drauga go round previously. See what he's got. So he's used all his battery here. He's absolutely exhausted, the full whack. Get a little bit more charge as he breaks into this corner, and then that's it, full throttle all the way to the start finish line. What's he going to get here? Is he going to go any quicker? So he beat himself. He's gone over half a second quicker there, which just goes to show that he does have pace. But you've just seen how he's locked up there coming into that corner. If you're not on your marks and if you've not got your braking zones ready for this track, it is unforgiving and you will do things like that. What else we got going on then, boys? Who else we got? So Drauga's back on an out lap again. Let's have a little look at Matty Pitt, see how he gets on. Like I say, lads, I'm not used to doing this commentary stuff, so if I haven't featured you as much as you would have liked to have been featured so far in qualifying, I do apologise, but you'll have to put your big boy pants on and deal with it. So here goes Matty Pitt. Let's see how he attacks this turn 1. There he goes. That's lovely. That's nice. straight on the gas as he heads down here to turn 4, 3, 4, one of the two. It's an awkward circuit, this one, because you don't necessarily know what technically defines a corner, what defines a turn. So many of them sweep onto each other. That's a good sector for him. One thing that I would love if they changed with this game is that if you are spectating, that you can see the live lap data from everybody. So obviously all you can see here on the screen at the moment on the left hand side is the position, the driver's name, the lap time they've got, and whether they're in or out of the pits or whatever, right? But if you could see the sector by sector data whilst you're commentating, it would be absolutely fantastic. And there probably is ways to do that if you're doing this from a PC, but when you're doing it from a PS5, you can't see anything. You're very, very limited to the data that you'll get. It looks like Lewis has pulled it on P2 there. He's retired from the session, so he's happy with where he is. Matty Pitt's going to bomb it down here. What's he on at the minute? He's on a 1:31.877, and he's not gone over the line there. He's obviously down on his lap. Didn't feel confident to keep going. But we've got John here that was following him. He's just started. See how he gets on. Again, John's relatively new to the league. He's been around for a couple of seasons now. And very much like T, he's one of those drivers that when he first started, you never would expect to see him anywhere near the front. But he's been keeping his head down, really locking in, really going for it. And he's had some fantastic results in recent races, actually. I think we might have had him on the podium a couple of races back. So here we go. Matty Pitts called it a day, obviously. He's not getting around for another. John's going to have to really attack this corner. Go on, mate. Go on, mate. That's nice, that's quite flowing actually. Foot through the floor, bomb it up here. He's going for it. Go on, John. He's gone from 9th to 9th. Unlucky, mate. He's unlucky. Right, who else fancies giving this a bash? So Clen has taken pole there. Clen's just gone over and taken pole. Wow, that is a turn up for the books. See if T can snatch that back. He's going to have to really go for it down here. So T's one of our drivers that uses the wheel and pedal setup. And apparently, according to some of the lads, this game really does favour the wheel and pedals. So we'll see what happens. So he didn't quite do enough there. He was under a tenth away from the Clem. So that looks like that's going to potentially be a tasty battle. What's going on with Rexy boy? I didn't quite see what he done there. I'm not sure if he jumped up or not. Didn't see it. Sick. No, he didn't jump up. Unlucky, mate. But we did actually see Rexy win his first race in the league recently, which was fantastic to see, to be honest with you. Rexy's one of those guys that everybody loves. And when he won, I actually managed to capture some of his radio message when he drove over the start-finish line. So we'll hear it now. There you go. That was a very excited Rexy, and I managed to catch up with him after the race actually to see how he thought of things, and I said to him, what do you think would improve the racing experience? And this was his response. So there you go. Rexy thinks we should get some more ladies in the paddock. But here we go. Getting ready for the race. We'll have a quick formation lap. Get everybody round. Get everybody in order. And get everybody fighting and raring to go. Just going to take a sip of my water there, so little pause, do apologise. So if you're wondering what's going on right now, all the drivers will be setting up their strategies. People will be second guessing the amount of fuel that they need. So yeah, they'll be deciding whether they think there's going to be a safety car. So if they think there's going to be a safety car, they might deliberately under-fuel the car so that when they are following the safety car laps, it's more of a lean fuel mix, so they end up gaining some laps back.
Here we go then.
But obviously by taking a lighter fuel, it's going to make the car lighter, which in turn is going to make it faster. So I've got an interesting starting tyres here from the field. So near enough everybody has selected the medium tyres, but then you've got John and White Shadow that have gone for the hards. So they're obviously thinking that they're going to be able to take them a long way. They're thinking that there might be an early safety car, an early incident, where they're going to be able to nick a few spaces. So here they come back round. So what we got? Clem lining up first, followed by the big dog T. And we've got one of the Aston boys coming in, which I think was Lewis. Didn't quite see who got fourth. We've got Drift King in fifth, Rexy in sixth. I can't remember everybody else. But here we go. We're waiting for the lights out as they head down to turn one. Let's see if we're going to get action or no traction. There they go. Great start. Oh, that's a little bit tight there from Scott Leslie. It looks like Clem's managed to hang on to P1. So he'll be over the moon with that. It's a great start from him. The order looks almost unchanged there, to be honest with you. I think maybe White Shadow and John might have swapped places there. I think this will, I don't think this will tell me, will it? No. Let's see if we can get a bit of a cinematic look at what's going on. One of the great things about this circuit is that it's a nighttime race, so you really do get some great images. Oh, we've got some carbon fibre flying off of the orange car, the what's it called, McLaren. That is really going to hurt him. Yeah, that's not going to be good at all. That'll be T-Dog, I do believe. Yeah, there you go. He's dropped down to fifth. So it looks like his front wing has smashed to bits there. People are just flying past him. He's really going to struggle with this. He's going to have to get himself in the pits. He's got no choice but to do so. T, I'm gutted for you, mate. Absolutely gutted for you. Wow, he's not going to go for it. He's going to keep himself out. That's a big call. I'm sure it is him that the carbon fibre was falling off of. I'll see if I can... yeah, there we go. You can see that he's got a front end plate missing, at least on his left side. White Shadow must have just taken a big dive there at turn one because he's picked up a corner cutting penalty. A 10-second corner cutting penalty there. Yeah. Sometimes when you're commentating on these races, it's so easy just to fall in the trap of watching it, and you forget that you're supposed to be talking, and you can't think of the words that you want to say, you know, it just doesn't come off the tongue, which is quite surprising for me, and most of the lads in the league will agree, because I'm a little bit of a fucking cunt that talks shit all the time, so they'll be surprised that I'm struggling to get me words out. Let's have a look and see what we've got going on. Rexy, come on, let's see some of that Rexy boy spaceship power that you love to employ. Rexy boy is a bit of a rocket ship merchant. He knows how to set his car up for fantastic straight line speed. He's always been known for being one of the fastest in a straight line. You could say he's the Usain Bolt of the league. But one thing that we love about Rexy is that he isn't an idiot, you know, he will not try to go for a stupid move. His racecraft is fantastic, and we'll just ignore the little move that he tried to make last week. So yeah, if you saw that, you'll know what I'm talking about. But there's a good chance you didn't see it because I didn't stream it. See what's going on then here with Matty Pitt. That looked like Drauga really struggled to get off the curb there. didn't seem to grab any traction at all. And Matty Pitt will be frothing at the mouth here for a chance to overtake. Matty Pitt's another one of those drivers that's quite a reserved driver and won't take a stupid risk. He'll definitely take a risk if he sees the doors open, but he'll not do a stupid move. He's very calculated and very, very well timed in what he does. And sometimes he likes to hit the inside wall there when he goes around the U-bend. But I don't think he's hit it enough for him to worry for it to give him any damage. So T's dropped right to the back now. You can really tell that missing that end plate's really damaging him. I mean, look, he's not even in the rear view of Mango. He's really dropped off, and I feel heartily sorry for him because he's a good lad. Like I say, he's one of those people that's in the league that people love. And we've got a new race leader in Drift King. I don't know when that's happened, but I've obviously missed him take the lead there. But let's stick with these two for a little while and see what's going on. Clen's going to be absolutely on his exhaust pipe here, looking to get his lips around it and suck him back in. Because Clen's no mug when it comes to Formula 1 racing. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's one of the faster drivers in the league, and you regularly expect to see him somewhere near the front three, the front four come the end of the race. So Clen's going to be, I think, having an all race battle here. So it looks like T's given up there. He's DNF. I don't know whether he's gone to the pits and retired. Didn't catch it. Did not see it. So I do apologise. Is it just going to be a yellow flag? Or yeah, it's just a little minor yellow flag. Let's get back with these two and see what we've got going on. So it looks like during that time that Clen's actually dropped back from drifting. That'll be quite annoying for Clen. He'll be gutted that he's managed to drop back there. Because look, there's quite a fair bit of space. That 1.5 seconds gap, it doesn't look great really. Clem really looks like something's off here. I wonder if he's had some damage or if he's collected a wall somewhere along the way. Because Clem is absolutely dropping off hand over fist here. Something's not quite right. And this is going to open the door up for Mr. Scott Leslie, the Scotsman that will happily walk 500 miles to appear on the podium. He's going to be bang up for some of this action. Let's have a look at him and see what he's doing. Obviously, he's got a bit of a defensive battle of his own there with Lewis behind him. So although he's charging down on Clem and trying to make up that difference, he's going to have to make sure that he's looking in his mirrors as well, because Lewis is going to be chomping at the bit. I think that's going to be the word of the day today, chomping at the bit. Everybody's chomping at the bit. So let's have a look and see what we've got, gents. Let's have a little look. Have a look at this, boys. 2 seconds. I'm just having a little look at something on my phone there. Because I've just signed up to a new subscription after a recommendation, so I've managed to get myself. Yeah, it's pretty good, to be honest with you. That's one of those things that I love to have a good watch at. But obviously, you've got to be careful where you're watching it and who's looking. But there we go, boys. We've got Lewis, and he is managing to stick right on the gearbox of Mr. Leslie there. Let's go down and ride on board with him, because he's going to attempt an overtake going into turn 1, surely. That's it. Scott's got no option but to hold his line there. He's got to hold his line. Oh, that's very tight. That is very tight. Well done, boys, for getting through there unscathed. That could have ended nasty. Wow. Yeah, well played, Lewis, mate. That was the right thing to do. Fair play to you for pulling out of that, because if you tried to get round there, that would have been race over for both of you, mate. You obviously played the smart game there, pulled out of it, and you know that on the next long straight, Scott's going to be there, ready for the taking. Like a nice little Essex tarp. Here he goes, that was easy. That was so easy for him, he didn't have no trouble at all there. And I think that was because Scott became a little bit squirrely. It looked like he didn't quite get the traction that he should have got down there. But Scott's going to have another go back at him here. Scott's loving this. Scott knows that he's got some pace. Scott knows that he will be able to get an opportunity to overtake coming out of here. He's going to bang it. Oh, he's maybe got the wall there slightly. Ever so slightly. Look at this. This is great. This is what you sign up for when you watch racing. This is absolutely magnificent. This is what we want to see, boys. Nice close battles like this where both drivers have got respect for each other and they're giving each other the room where it's necessary. Scott pulls off into the pits there. He's ready to get himself some new tyres. And I heard his radio message before, and this is what they had to say. So there he goes. He took the simple advice and decided to box and get himself some new shoes, ready to power on through. What's he gone for there? See if we can see what he's got. So he's gone for the hards, which I thought he would do. It was the only real option, to be honest. Fair play to Mango there. He come round there and he done what he needed to do. This might become a little bit of a problem for Scott now. Because, respectfully, Mango is one of the more slower drivers. Obviously, he's gone off track there, so that's made it a little bit easier for Scott. But, yeah, he's left Mango halfway up the road already. But this battle at the front there again, like I was saying previously, there seems to have become a big drop in pace from Clem. He keeps going anywhere between 1.5 to 2.5 seconds behind Drift King. And I don't know if that's because he's collecting the walls on the way or he just simply doesn't have the pace that he looked like he had during qualifying. But you can notice on the timing board there on the left that there's some big gaps happening now between the drivers, apart from Drauger and Matty Pitt. So Matty Pitt's got past, but he's dragging Drauger around behind with him. And Drauger's going to go for it down here. He's going to absolutely send it. Oh, okay, Matty Pitt's got the box message as well. They must both have the same radio engineer. But yeah, as I was saying before, you can see on the timing boards there that there's some massive gaps forming between the drivers now. Clem's 3 seconds behind Drift King. Lewis is 3 seconds behind Clem. Rexy another 4.5 seconds. Drauger 4.5, 5 seconds. You don't need me to read them all out. You can see them there on the screen. But you can see that there's some big gaps forming up on this track now. The only drivers that are really relatively close to each other is these here, John, White Shadow and Mr. Leslie. Everybody else seems to have just backed off really and doing their own thing. Which makes it a hard race to commentate on, because when there's not much action happening, you haven't really got too much to say. But yeah, Mr. Leslie's just eased past Shadow there. I don't know if Shadow had used all his battery or something, I'm not too sure. Let's see if we can get that back up. I don't know what I pressed before to get that previously. I had some data on the screen before, seem to have lost it. Yeah, that's great, isn't it? Sure, it was telemetry data. I don't know. God knows, mate. God knows. You can see a few position changes there now. Drift King's obviously the one that's making the most profit by going up 4 places. Matty Pitt's going to be lining up another overtake, so let's have a look and see what we can get out of this. Let me just move that down, because that is pissing me off, mate. That's better, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we'll have that one. We'll go for that one. Penalties. White Shadow 10 seconds, Matty Pit 3 seconds. Yeah, this is going to be easy work for Matty Pit when he gets up on the back of Mango, yeah. There he goes, quite straight past him, no dramas. Okay, that was quite deep. That was well respectful, Matty. Fair play for not just throwing your weight around, mate. You went nice and deep, gave him plenty of room. But that just goes to prove what I said earlier about Matty Pit won't take a risk if it's not necessary. He knew that Mango was hanging about, and he didn't want to take himself out, so he gave him the room, knowing that he'd get past him anyway. Lovely jubbly. Lewis is going to have some on White Shadow here. This is going to be easy work again. Yeah, White Shadow's gone super deep there. I don't know whether that was just something that was a bit of a move of respect. You know, he didn't want to slow the drivers down, so he made sure he got out of the way, which is top class from him. You know, he's a good bloke. He interferes with pigs for a living, but that aside, he is a top class bloke. Lewis having a bit of a kiss against the wall there. That's not going to do him any favours. Come on, lads. Right, let's see what we're going to get. Has everybody had a tyre change yet? So everybody started on mediums apart from John on White Shadow. So we'll have a little look and see the detail for the tyre change. So we've still got Drift King, Clem, Rexy and Mango all left to pit. Obviously White Shadow and John have got a pit as well, but they started on the hards. So we should see in the next lap or two the entire field on the hard tyre. I'd be very surprised if these lads go beyond lap 12 without changing from those mediums. I mean, they're better drivers than me, so if anyone can do it, it's definitely them lot, but we'll see what happens. Fair enough, fair enough. John's going to get his foot down and try to defend here, but I don't think he's going to have enough. Oh, he's going for it. Fair play, John, mate. I like it, I like it, I rate it. Let's see what's going on there. He's pulled out of it. Fair enough, John, mate. Can't argue with that fella. It has unfortunately left the door wide open for Lewis to just fuck off up the road. Right, lads, I need some of you to do something. I need someone to smash into a wall so that I've got something to talk about, because you're all so far spaced out now that there isn't any racing going on. The closest gap on the track is 2 seconds, and that's between Mr. Leslie and Rexy Boy. Let's have a little look from Scott's point of view, see what he thinks. See if he thinks that Rexy is going to come into closing distance. One of the things that I love about watching the Formula One in real life is that they've got so much real-time data on how the drivers are racing. They can actually estimate within quite a good degree of accuracy for when they predict an overtake's going to happen. So I don't predict that an overtake's going to happen here until these lads start lap 14. I think Rexy is going to lead all the way round lap 13. There's obviously a gap there of 1.1 seconds. So I think Rexy's probably got enough in the bank there to get him round this lap in the lead. But if Scott closes up to him over the course of this lap, he's definitely going to be within a chance of overtaking him come lap 14. So we've got a little bit more of closer racing here, because Drift King's managed to come out the pit and drop on the back of these two. So we've got a little bit of excitement for a short time, but let's see just how long that lasts. Rex is going charging down here. With Scott behind him and Drift King right on the shoulder. Yeah, this is going to be magic. Have a bit of this, lads. This is what we want to see. Look at this. This is magic. This is as close as racing gets on a circuit like this. So Scott has managed to get past. Drift King has joined him. So everybody switched places there. Drift King's going to maybe see if he can multiply that and go for a ×2. There he goes, he's passed. He's going to bomb it up here now. Rexy Boy's got front row seats for that. He's going into the pit for a box. I don't think we'll watch that. We'll ride on board with Mr. Leslie and see what he can do. So I was surprised there, to be honest, because I didn't think that Rexy was going to end that lap being overtaken, but he ended up actually getting overtaken by 2. So that just goes to show what I was saying before. On the real life F1, they can predict it with so much accuracy. But obviously this is just a sim racing game. Things can happen. I don't know whether Rexy maybe made a mistake on the lap, which made Mr. Leslie able to overtake him. I don't know why I call him Mr. Leslie, actually. It actually sounds quite nonsense when I say that. I do promise he's not interfering with me. It doesn't make me call him Mr. Leslie. It just, I've never called him Mr. Leslie before in my life. It just seems to have happened during this commentary. But if anybody is being touched by anyone they don't want to be, I'll share a number for the Samaritans in the description on this video so that you can call and get the support that you need. So let's have a little look on these timing screens. That was too easy, mate. See, this track is wonderful for overtaking because it will just pull up some fast-paced sectors where you can just absolutely bomb it down the road. See if Drift King's got it in him to get the overtake done here. Yeah, he's straight past. Anyone know how I get that thing back that I had before? I had a nice... There we go. Was that it? Yeah, that was the Badger. Don't know how I lost that before. We'll have a bit of that. It's nice to see how much battery the drivers have got left. To see what gear they're in, see how fast they're going. And of course, to see whether they're in S mode or not. Obviously the Formula 1 regulations changed recently. They've done away with the DRS overtake facility, and they gave the drivers some new buttons to play with to give them that little bit of extra boost. Can't remember for the life of me what S mode means. If you know, just drop it down in the comments, let us know. I do have to admit, at the minute I am a bit of a part-time F1 fan. I've not been watching it as much as I normally would do. I've fallen out of love with it, to be completely honest with you. Let's have a little look here, see what's going on with these messages. So, received a message in the Discord, that'll be from T. We obviously mentioned earlier about him crashing out of the race and DNFing, which was a total shame, to be honest with you, because I'm sure he would have loved to race around here. I know he was buzzing for the commentary and everything, because we don't always get commentary in this league. We used to have a guy that done it full time, a guy called Andy, but he had trouble with his nan dropping fried eggs on the floor, so he had to stop doing the commentary. And now I just sit in every now and again when I can be bothered, quite frankly. But we've got Drauger out of the race there. Wow. Drauger is out of the race, so that is both McLaren boys. I don't know if something's happened. We might see his car here when John catches up. Yeah, I don't know what's happened. His car's already gone. So it looks like we might get a full course safety car here. That's another thing that I'm unaware of, because I don't think the game actually tells me whether it's going to be a full safety car or not. There used to be a banner that come up on the top screen, if I can remember rightly, and it used to say that that it was a full course safety car or not. I don't seem to be getting any kind of notification yet. No one seems to be binning it into the pit, so I'm guessing not. Full grids out on track. Nobody's gone for a pit, and of course, right as I say that, Drift King goes for a pit. Scott's following him in. So is Lewis. So maybe we do have a full course safety car. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. It doesn't tell me. I don't get a message on the front of the screen. Obviously, these guys that are driving right now, they will see that message pop up telling them that it's a safety car. It'll be up on the top of their screen, a nice big message. So it looks like T's incident wasn't just himself going out the race. It looks like he was involved with another driver. I'm not going to say who in the commentary, because that wouldn't be fair of me to say so. Obviously the stewards need to see the incident, and they'll go through that, they'll see what's happened. And one thing that this league prides itself on is that the stewards have got nothing but respect for the drivers. They've got no loyalties to anybody. They don't treat anybody with any disregard. Everybody's treated with the same respect when it comes to the incidents. Doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter if it's a league owner or another steward, or even one of the drivers that's piping one of the stewards off. They all get treated with the same respect, which is why I'm going to not mention anything about the incident during this commentary. Obviously I've mentioned that he's had an incident and that it involved another driver, but that's all you need to know for now. One thing that's going to be bloody wonderful for me with this safety car is that it's going to group the pack right up together again. You can see it there, everybody is packing up behind the safety car. Drift King, Scott, not Mr. What did I call you before? Mr. Leslie. Drift King, Mr. Leslie, Lewis, Rexy, John, Matty Pitt, Clen. They're all bunched up together already. We're just waiting on White Shadow to join the party. Like I said before, he's probably busy looking at pigs or something. And Mango a further 8 seconds up the road. But these lads will have them caught up in no time at all, I should imagine. So yeah, there we have. We have White Shadow just coming round. He's probably going to follow his teammate into the pit, unless he's pitted already. So he's going to overtake Matty here. Matty's not going to like that. Matty might call team orders here and see if he can have that place back when the race gets going. But the fact that Mango's gone past as well, that is going to make it difficult for them to do a little switcheroo. Let's have a little look and see if anybody else spoke to me. So I've actually managed to capture the live recording from Draugr's race engineer when Draugr went out of the race. So I'm going to play that for you now, and this is what his race engineer said.
You've got a major problem, Sunshine.
So there you have it. You heard it here first. Draugr had a major problem, Sunshine. And that's what's taken him out of the race. I don't know what that problem was. I don't know if he lost traction and he caused himself to go into a wall. I don't know whether it was another driver he was involved with. It doesn't look like he's raised any incidents up to now. Safety car in this lap. There we go. So I've got a message telling me that the safety car is in this lap. So Drift King's going to back all these up now. And then he's going to get going, probably, I would imagine, just as they pass the pit. There he goes, he's away. Exactly as I said, just as they pass the pit entry. Okay, so S mode must be straight mode. I just saw a little message on the top of the screen there. So it looks like Scott's lost a position there. He's dropped down to 3rd place. Maybe he was caught napping, or maybe Lewis just decided to chuck all of his battery. He's on 75, 80 there. Scott's on 100. So yeah, that would suggest that that Lewis has used his battery. Scott hasn't. He's been caught napping. But this is wonderful for me because it's bunched the pack right up. There's only 7, 8 laps left to go. And it means that we should get some good racing for the remainder of the race. Matty Pitt's right on the back of Mango here, but it looks like Matty Pitt might have picked up another penalty. We'll have a little look on that. Yeah, Matty Pitt was 6 seconds there, so he's got a lot of work to do. He's got a heck of a lot of work to do. Matty Pitt might find himself as the bottom runner come the end of the race if he doesn't get his foot down. But you see he's blasted all of his battery there from that lap. He's down to no battery left. He's going to go for an overtake here on Mango, and then I'm sure him and his teammate will try and work something out together to try and reel in some of the pack. Wow, Mango wasn't being no pushover there. Good on you, lad. Mango's really stuck it in there and just thought to himself, no, sorry, you can stay behind me, Matty. You got 6 seconds. I'm going to try and get myself involved in this race. And Matty's going to come back at him. Oh, he fancied it there, but then wisely pulled out. Mango with a 3 seconds now, so this has really spiced it up. Because Matty will be thinking to himself over the course of the next 7 laps, he can get 3 seconds ahead of yeah, Matty will be thinking he can get 3 seconds ahead of Mango. Here he goes. Oh, he had no choice but to slam the anchors on there. But all the while this is going on, White Shadow's getting further up the road. At the minute, White Shadow's got a 9-second lead over Matty Pitt, because you've got his 3 seconds on track lead and then the 6-second penalty as well. So White Shadow's going to be laughing. He's going to be thinking to himself here that he's got himself a chance at of finishing maybe 6 or 7, possibly even higher. There goes Scott dropping down the order. He's spun out there. There's obviously been some sort of connection between himself and somebody else for that to happen. So that's really going to have annoyed him. That's put him right back down to 7th place. To be honest, I thought he was going to finish sort of around 6, 7 anyway. So we'll see what happens. Three seconds, yeah, that's it. He's had it now. It's obviously gone to his head and he's pushing too hard and he's not been able to keep his calm based on that incident that's just happened, and it's ultimately cost him a 3-second penalty, which come the end of the race is going to be massive. There's only 6 laps left to go, including this one, so that's going to be a big difference. Let's see what's going on with Rexy Boy, because he's up lining up something on Clem here. Rexy Boy just loves it. He lives and breathes for Formula One. He absolutely loves Formula One. He's got himself a nice little rig set up at home. I think he's one of the Fanatec race users. He's Got himself a nice little setup. Likes to enjoy a few treats while he's racing as well. Maybe a bevy or two, and not alcoholic, of course, but I know he likes a bit of Bob Marley, so we'll see if that settles his nerves here. But Clen's managed to get himself up into second there whilst Rexy Boy was on the charge. I think come the end of the race, any of these top four could form the top three. I know that sounds like a very obvious thing to say, but one of these top four isn't going to make it. That's a very Michael Owen quote, I know, but if you've got half a brain, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Rexy could finish first, he could finish fourth. It works out exactly the same for any of those drivers in the top four there. I do think John has probably had to give up the charge there now based on the way that he's dropping away from these top four. Rexy won't be impressed that he's at the break there. This is going to be interesting to see what we get up and up here. There's bound to be at least one change of the order. Is it going to be Clen? It's going to be Clen. Clen's going for it. Is he going to hold it? No, he's not. Rex is going to be loving watching this happen right in front of him. He's got a front row ticket. He is going to be loving this action. Look at that angle, that's incredible. You can really see just how fast the cars are going whilst you're watching from this angle. Bear with me 2 ticks, guys. So this battle is still ongoing and we're getting some wonderful, wonderful images. Clen's going for it. He's had no choice but to go for it there, and he's going to fancy it going up this start-finish straight as well. He's really going to fancy his chances against Drift King. Drift King's going to give it his all to be able to defend, but let's see what Clen's got. See if he thinks he's got an ace card hidden somewhere up his sleeve. Doesn't quite have the pace to get it going there. How's things for Rexy? Wow, that was deep, Rexy, mate. You might have cost yourself there, fella. You're going to have to get on the button here, mate, and really go for it now, because if these get away from you, there'll be no coming back, mate. There'll be no coming back. Fully expect to see Rexy burn his battery here, as he does. He had no choice but to do that. He's going to be kicking himself. He's going to hope that these three in front of him are going to fight, because that will open the door for him. Come on, Rexy, mate. Let's see what you've got. Let's see your best. Yeah, that's opened the door a little bit there for Rexy. He's managed to catch up by maybe 4 or 5 tenths there, possibly. But the important thing is he's got absolutely 0 battery left, apart from that small little chunk that he's gained through braking. So anyone that don't know how these Formula 1 cars work, when they're braking, it's called regenerative braking. So the cars brake really hard. The energy that comes from the braking is then stored in the battery, and then that can then be used to give the cars more horsepower. But it looks like Rexy might be saying goodbye now. It really does. Come on, boys. Now Rex has managed to get himself right back into this. These three must be really fighting in front of him. And I reckon that there's a good chance that that one or two of them could pick up a warning. Oh, no, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see incidents this late on into the race. Not too sure what happens there. We might see if we get a little ticket come the end of the race. But there was obviously some sort of connection there between the two drivers, whether it was just driver error or a little bit over enthusiastic to keep position, we don't know, but we'll soon find out. But both Clen and Rexy have got a lot of work to do here. So we're just about to start the final lap now, which I'm quite happy about, because according to my recording, I've only got 3.5 minutes left. So it looks like I've started the recording at the exact perfect time to make sure we get all the action as the race goes on. So just as I said, Lewis picked up a warning there. Looks like it's a big corner cut that he's done. He must have some sort of damage. He must have. I don't know if we'll be able to see it from that far back. We can't. But he must have some sort of damage. John's going to really be chomping at the bit now. And so Scott, because that's brought them both positions. Let's get back on board with Mr. Drift King. It's going to be a... Oh, okay, what's going here? John's got past him. John's got past him. There must be significant damage on Lewis's car for John to get past him with as much ease as what he did. But he is fighting back. He's not going to let him have that position simply. The fighter in him is going to keep him charging down the road so he can hold on to as many positions as possible. But you can see there just the way he's going through that there's clearly issues. Scott's loving this. He's absolutely loving it. But there we go. We've got Drift King taking the win. Congratulations, mate. Clen coming in P2. Rexy boy down in P3. Scott's got him on track. There we go. Lewis fancied trying to go for it there at the end. He didn't want to be beaten on track, even though he did have the penalty. But maybe that's just the racer in him. Maybe that's just the racer in him that didn't want to be beaten. Well, there we have it, guys. That is the end of this purple sector Formula 1 Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, whatever street circuit you want to call it. I hope you've enjoyed my commentary. Some of it has just been waffle. Like I say, I don't do it on a regular basis. Just done it for something a little bit different to do and something for the lads to enjoy. They spend a lot of time racing, and it's nice for them to be able to watch the race back with a little bit of commentary on the end. But there you have it, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I shall speak to you all another time. Ta-ta.